think during...
Let's call the May meeting of the Town of Newbury Human Resources Board to order. Present are
Diane Doyle.
Mark Gleckman.
John Farrar.
Anthony Antico.
I anticipate that Lynn Shady will be with us momentarily, and there she is.
There she is.
And Chief Lucy will not be joining us this afternoon, as everyone might imagine. It's still a very active investigation over at the Sforza family farm stand, and as a result, he will not be able to join us. But we do have a quorum. We have 5 members present, and so we are legal to go here. First order of business is to approve the minutes of the prior meeting. Diane, thank you for that distribution. These are the minutes of the meeting held on Monday, March 28th, 2022. Has everyone had an opportunity to read through those minutes?
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. Is there a motion to approve?
Motion.
Is there a second?
Second?
Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of accepting the minutes as written? Aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous? Thank you again, Diane. Next order of business, I'll defer to you, Diane, with John, Chief Lucy not being here. Employee issues, anything that come to your attention that we should be aware of?
Nothing that I know of.
Okay. Personnel actions and job vacancies. We talked when we met in late March about a couple of opportunities within the library as a result of some movement and new opportunities. Any updates there?
So I think there was a follow-up question about the mention that there had been an offer for the new library director, and that had been put
Right.
out and was accepted. She started on May 1st.
Right.
Erin, we met, was promoted within and is the new library director. We have since hired an assistant library director to take Erin's place. She came to us from Amesbury. Her name is Dorothy Moynihan, and she
Great.
started on May 5th.
Excellent.
We have an open position still at the library for youth services librarian, although I know there's been a couple of applicants recently, so I think they're actively looking at that.
Okay. To the best of your knowledge, Erin has not requested any assistance in the process. She seems
I think they're
good with it.
Yep.
Okay.
They're good with it. Tyler Boletto, who was a call firefighter for us, was also recently added as a part-time communications officer. John would have spoken to that.
Over the PD.
Yeah, over
Okay,
the
great.
PD. And lastly, we have a resignation at the DPW effective June 1st. So I know there is an open position with the DPW for a laborer position.
Okay, thank you.
Other than that, I think we are good.
Okay. The one trailing item we had from our last meeting was the, excuse me, the issues that Chief Lucy brought to us regarding compensation for the patrolman who was active duty National Guard. Do you recall that?
I do remember I don't have an update.
Okay, so we didn't know what happened. Town was going to seek guidance from town council, so no update on that.
I defer that to John.
Okay.
I have no
I
idea.
will hold for that on that, from him on that. Nothing else in terms of personnel actions or job vacancies. All right. No workplace or ethics or discrimination issues that I'm aware of. Thank you. Safety issues, again, we would defer to Chief Lucy on this. Anything to report in Town Hall, Diane, in terms of protocols? Anything change with the most recent uptick?
We haven't had any changes in COVID protocols or closures or mask wearing or anything like that. Things are pretty much status quo.
I would, just throw this open real quick, I would think that by the time we meet again, there may be some new guidance out there. I know everything I'm reading suggests that Essex County is, well, it may not be a hotbed quite yet, but there's been a significant uptick. And I have seen some recent articles about school systems making the decision to go back to masking. I don't think that any of that has occurred within the Triton district or here at Town Hall for that matter, but would not be surprised if things continue to go the way they are, if we may be back during the summer to some sort of a masking or at least newer guidance than has been in place over the last few months. Anyone has thoughts on that? Or
I've heard that at Triton, there's no mandate, of course, but many more people are wearing masks students and staff.
Yeah.
So, because of this.
It's apparent in stores as well.
Oh, yeah.
I was at London Kelly's Ace this morning, and so, every one of the employees except Dale will wear a mask. And I go into Shaw's out of just respect to make others comfortable. I put a mask on when I get out of the car and walk into the building. And so many, I think folks are listening to the news and beginning to get a little anxious.
Yep, same thing in Market Basket this morning. There was probably a 50-50 split.
Mm.
Yeah.
Masks, and
It's getting
most of the
into-
employees were masked, not all, but most of them were, so their guidance remains probably, somewhat flexible, but. So we'll, as it relates to safety issues here at Town Hall, which is, under our purview here, we'll continue to keep an eye on it, and nothing's changed downstairs, Diane, in terms of public access.
No,
Okay,
no,
I just was traveling and, through the airport, and it seemed like the majority did not have masks, which surprised me.
Mm.
So, yeah. So here I go, like going about my merry way without a mask, right? And I went into work, I was like, "Ooh, I need a mask." So anyway, yeah, it's interesting, how this will all end up, if we end up with
right.
another mask mandate or not, or, I don't know, it's just
Yeah.
all confusing, right? Masks are recommended when you go into stores, and,
Yeah. Schools, of course, will be out in the next, 3 weeks, give or
Yeah.
take. So that'll take some of the pressure off every community, but nonetheless, there are still other gatherings of note that could be problematic, so we'll see.
absolutely, yeah.
Okay, thank you. In other business, a couple, 3 trailing items. Diane is very proudly distributing the,
Perhaps a round of applause would be
Yeah.
in order.
newest version. Diane, you want to just give us the 30-second tour of?
yes.
Wow.
Happily. So this is, as you can see from the front page, the amended personnel policy manual that was accepted by the select board on March 8th. It has been reread by yours truly again. The pages have been added. I've updated the addendum, the index. And as far as I can tell, I think that is in its final format. So what I wanted to do was to give you a hard copy. I will send out an electronic copy tomorrow to all of you as well.
Thank you.
And if you are excited to do so, you can certainly take a look at it. And what I plan to do, at this point, if there are no changes or anything that comes up, I will send an electronic copy to the select board. We will post it to the website, and we will send all of our employees an updated copy.
Great.
Immediately in the thumb page, I see that page 18 is withdrawn to page 17.
Well, there was some, there were some language changes, additions, subtractions, modifications, so there were some things that moved around a bit, so I'm happy to drag this one hopefully over the finish line.
I don't
And
think-
Tony raises his hand.
No, this
Tony's
is,
focused on the table of contents.
no.
And I
This-
looked, and
this one was on-
I will just say, I have looked at this so many times and for such a long period of time. If you find something, I would not be surprised.
No, I'm just looking at page, chapter 13. I just happened to open,
Okay.
And it says, page 56. So apparently I had no choice because on the bottom it says 57.
Oh,
I mean, that's, I'm sure that's a typo
probably, no, you know what, okay,
problem.
where we are.
Because everything
This
is,
just needs to come off the top one,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
And you
not-
happen to just
Oh, I'm
find that one so
Yeah,
easily.
none of the other pages are.
Everything else-
It just, I think with moving
Yeah.
some things around, I'll make that correction. But honestly and sincerely, take a look at it, if there's anything, I'll send the electronic copy to all of you tomorrow.
I don't think just a thank you by itself does Diane justice here.
I agree.
Uh,
absolutely,
Yeah.
This is
As,
heroic.
as we've said before, it's,
It's
I
a
mean, you didn't
yeoman's.
just drag this over the finish line, you put it on your shoulders and dragged it over the finish line, and
You're
we
higher
are, we
than
are
a
all
yeoman,
forever
you're a
to
yeoman woman.
Yeah, oh,
the
there you go.
entire
Hi.
town and all of its employees are indebted to you for your dedication to this project. Thank you so much.
Well, I'm happy to have it in its final format, so
Yeah.
take a look at it. If you see something, I'll fix the 56.
Should there be a blank page at the?
Yeah, there was always a blank page at the end.
Okay.
Don't ask me why, but there always was one.
Yeah. Should you put something like this page intentionally left
I
blank?
can add that. I think it was in the previous, I can add that.
Yeah. No big deal, but just,
Do you see what Newbury is spelled wrong here?
I didn't fall for that one. I did not fall for that one.
Thank you again.
Yeah, but take a look at it. I'll get everything sort of updated with these.
Okay.
Is it, I mean, HR board, so I'll send it to you electronically, the select board, post to the website, and then we're gonna send a copy to all of the employees. I think other than that, we should be in,
Okay, because you want to hold for a little bit
Yeah, I'll
on the
hold.
website piece?
Yep,
Just to get a couple of
Yeah.
more check marks in
Yeah.
for it? Okay.
yeah,
Okay, I'll get back to you as soon as I,
okay.
thank you for that, Diane.
Yep.
Diane, I'm sorry, just one more quick question. How did you actually manage to join the two versions of it? Remember we were talking about that last time?
What I was having difficulty was going in and getting the page numbers inserted, because what happened was, it went out to town council, and I
Right.
think when it came back, it was probably in a different version of
Version,
Word
yeah.
or whatever.
Right.
I kept looking at tutorials, I kept going back and trying it,
Wow.
so I'm
I thought town council's office would do that.
I reached
for
out
you.
to them, they extracted the pages off of it, and I was
Right.
like, why would you do that? But it was because it was edited. So they said, let's take the page numbers off as it was an edited version,
Right.
sent to us, we finalized it. And I reached out to them to see if they could then insert the pages again, and I didn't hear from them. So
Yeah.
I just kept doing tutorials, help YouTube.
There.
Find,
something finally
it just,
allowed you to
yeah,
do that.
yeah. I think what I was doing was inserting the pages, but then I wasn't saving the page insert, whatever, like, it said save page insert, like action or something, and I
Yeah.
kept going back to the instructions, so
You're the word expert now.
I'm not. Don't tell anyone that, because then
All right, we'll keep it among us.
we'll keep it amongst
It
ourselves.
looks very nice.
Well, I think it's good for a few years, and considering my retirement plan, I'm hoping hoping I don't have to look at it again.
Good, thank you so much.
Excellent, Shirley.
I'm glad it's finally done.
Okay. Just doing the monthly check-in on our ethics and conflict of interest compliance. Is that-
No, I checked with town clerk, she said everybody was all set. Did you do the training portion?
I didn't get through it all,
Oh,
so maybe I got through enough of it.
I checked with her and she ran through everybody's name
Okay.
and she said everybody's complete.
Okay, good.
Good.
It's been a little
Everybody
while.
else is all set? So good. Thank you all for that. Our annual requirement to comply with ethics and conflict of interest training. And the only other thing I had, and it's not on the agenda, just real quick. I received an email sometime over the last month from Julie O'Brien, Tracy's admin, forwarding a request that came from Heidi Fram and Robin Lawson. The women are the co-chairs of the Newbury Town Day that's had some press that is occurring, I think it's June 18th? I'm
Yes.
not sure of the date, I think it's June
It's in
18th.
yesterday's newspaper,
June 18th.
large piece on it.
Right. And at their request, Julie sent this memo out to the chairs of the various boards and committees in town, asking if any board wanted to have, for lack of a better term, visibility during Newbury Town Day, and/or be available to, for lack of a better term, help the cause. they're looking for volunteer efforts. And the question was, are any boards particularly interested? And, you know, I wanted to bring that to the rest of you folks, get your thoughts on it. Personally, my reaction, my response to, and I know Robin from some previous work we did together years ago, and so I sent a note to she and Heidi explaining that I wasn't sure if the HR board would be an appropriate group to have sort of visibility to the public, given our charter. You know, since our charter is not a public-facing, I mean, the public is certainly always welcome to participate in these meetings. I don't think we've ever had anybody from the public here. We're recorded, of course, and so the public has an opportunity to view what we do every month, but we're really not a public-facing organization like FinCom might be, or the Conservation Committee, Commission, thank you, might be, or the Planning Board for that matter, where, you know, members of the public are coming before them at various times, and they look at historical data, they look at precedents, so forth and so on.
They're all representatives of stakeholders, and we are not.
Right, but that said,
We
I didn't want to
represent
speak. I didn't want to speak for the board, so I'm looking for input here, whether individually or if anybody feels as a board we should have a presence. I don't know what that presence might be. It might be sitting at a table, you know, volunteering for a couple hours, and people coming up asking questions about the history of Newbury, or again, I'm not sure what it might be.
So I have a thought.
Yeah.
Am I okay? And anybody else want to
Yes,
go
no,
first?
please.
My thought is, yes, I think that it would be a good idea for us to have some visibility in a setting like that. While we might not be public facing, we can affect people's lives, people's livelihoods. You know, take this example of pay, or take the example of holiday days, you know, things like that. We make recommendations, you know, related to people's pay, people's time off, things like that. And so I think that sometimes HR can be seen as just kind of, you know, behind the scenes, or like behind my words aren't coming.
The black screen?
Yeah, you know, yeah. And so for us to have some visibility and say exactly what you said, you know, we're not the ultimate decision makers. We don't, whatever, you know, and we're not public facing, but to be able to say those words, and, you know, it would be nice for us to have kind of some talking points or something if we were to agree to do this, you know, so that we were all saying the same things.
Yep.
But I think, you know, why not have some visibility? You know, so somebody is negatively impacted by, you know, salary surveys that, you know, are put into place, salary surveys that are done, and then ultimately salaries that are adjusted, you know, and we might have had some impact. Or, you know, military duty, you know, the decisions there, or time off, things like that. And it's like, well, who's making these decisions? Well, you know, we're making recommendations. And what are we basing our recommendations on? You know, we're looking at policies, we're looking at local, federal, you know, laws, employment laws, things like that. You know, so for us to be able to say why we're making these recommendations, I think it would be an okay thing.
Okay. Other thoughts?
I think to Lynn's point, originally my thought was, so in looking at, because I went onto the website for the town day and I looked
Right.
at what the activities were, and they're spread out all over town. There's events, you know, in Newbury proper, there's stuff going on in Byfield, there's all these different things. And when I thought about it, there's really not a place for us to sit as a HR board, to, you know, sit there and let me tell you about HR in Newbury. But I think to Lynn's point, you know, showing the community that as board members, as people that are invested in the town of Newbury, we're showing up to support. And, you know, I think, you know, that just continues to drive home that people here do care and that
Right.
we're being supportive. So I don't know necessarily that we're gonna represent as HR, but we would be there, you know, volunteering or just showing up to help. So, I mean, I think to Lynn's point that, you know,
Okay.
yeah.
So,
If people so choose to do that, if
Sure.
people have the opportunity to join in or volunteer, they could reach out to Heidi, I believe. Is that what she's asking, or?
yeah, it was interesting. I haven't communicated with him for probably 10 days or 2 weeks now, but I will tell you that when I responded to Julie's request by contacting Heidi and Robin, who again, I know from a previous endeavor, sent me a note back saying, thank you. As of that point, we were the only board who had responded at all. So, my guess is they could use some help and would certainly be more than happy to try to coalesce us and do something. So it sounds like, Lynn, correct me if I'm wrong, your idea was maybe a little bit more HR board focus, and Diane, your idea was more just, how about if we volunteer someplace?
As an HR board member,
Right,
demonstrating that we're showing up to the community
Yeah.
in our roles as HR members to volunteer and
Got it.
support the
Got it.
cause.
okay.
And identify.
Yeah,
That's what I said, yeah.
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 Tony, John, your thoughts?
We'll put a sign around your neck.
Yeah.
What's the element that she's using to get folks to sign up for volunteer positions? How's she doing that?
Again, it's
There's a
very open-ended.
there's a
It's,
website.
would you like to help the cause in any way? And to Diane's point, it is distributed throughout the town, although I think, if I recall correctly, a lot of the activity is gonna be around and about the Upper Green and at the farm, at
Field, Mancher Field.
Spencer Little?
Oh,
Spencer
Okay.
Spencer Pierce Little Farm. There are gonna be lots of activities, and they're of course within walking distance of each other. I know there's some activity in Byfield as well. So I'm throwing it up. I mean, we can, I'm sure, find a table to sit at if we wanna do something a little bit more formal. Take shifts if whoever's interested and available. Or, to Diane's point, we can tell them that, we're available to volunteer at different locations, as HR board members, but not specifically talking about HR board issues, so.
So my thought is to show up as HR board members, and because otherwise, everyone in the community can be showing up and just being community members.
Right.
But, so when I was on a community college board, and that was different because we were elected and, the college was a big deal. And, but we always would show up to town events and city events and, all kinds of things and be recognized as board members in that capacity. And granted, this is different, but still, this is public service. And we're doing this because we believe in the town, we believe in people, HR is a people department. So,
Thank you.
a little bit of passion there. So.
I don't disagree with any of that. If that's going to be the case, then my recommendation would be that we focus on a location. I can talk to Robin and Heidi about, I'm sure they'll have tables available, and for anyone who's interested and available, we could set up a couple of shifts, maybe a couple 3-hour shifts. I'm thinking out loud here. I know it's Saturday the 18th. I don't know if it's a 9 to 5 or 10 to 3. Anyone know the particulars of
I don't
that?
have my phone.
I can communicate with you on that. So I'm certainly available to.
I'm available.
When? Okay.
Yeah, and I might be speaking out of turn, I'm certainly open to what others think about this.
The democracy.
Yeah. And I know, and I just, if we don't show up, and if other boards do show up, well, the planning board was there, the conservation commission was
Yeah.
there. HR, where's the HR board? This is about me and my livelihood, how come they're not here? So anyway.
I think what we probably should do is reach out and ask them, is there a format where, like, other boards will be, set up, or is this just that they want to, because I don't really know.
Good point.
I don't know, so I think next step should be.
I'll call Robin.
Recontact them, let them know that we want to participate in some fashion, that we'd like to, show up as the HR board, but that we're looking to them to give us a little more details about, is this a place where there'll be representatives from the committees, or are you looking for us to show up as members of the HR board and to help?
Okay.
So, and I think once we get that information back, we can best discern how we show up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we could have, like name tags or
Oh,
something.
yeah, we can,
Yeah.
Is there anyone else who's interested and available to participate?
think I can, I think I am available.
I don't know at this point. Curious, on an abstract level, what do they state the day is all about and what it hopes to accomplish?
I think it's the first town day, and I think it's to promote,
It's to celebrate the town and its history. I mean, in its broadest sense, it's to,
In the events at Byfield, Plum Island, Old Town, Upper Green, what are they?
they have their own website.
Okay, I've not seen it, I'll look into it.
let me see if I
No, I
can quickly
don't-
pull it up.
And what's the precise name of it?
Newbury Town Day, is it a Facebook site, Diane?
I thought it was a website. I didn't think it was Facebook.
Newbury Town Day.
It's June 18th.
Yep, uh-huh,
Is it June 18th?
yep.
Does it say what time?
A day-long program, let's see. They do have a Facebook page.
Event day, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m.
11 to 1?
What was it?
No, that's getting together to plan the day.
Oh,
You know, they're asking for people to kayak race, tug of war, comedy skits, fiddling,
Comedy.
chowder cook-off, clam bakes, scavenger hunt. What are your ideas? How many of those have adopted, I don't know.
oh, so there.
I'll tell you what, rather than speculate, let me reach out to Robin,
Okay.
and as soon as I hear back from her, I will, I'll throw this open. Tony, especially your thoughts on this, your legal thoughts. It's just, I don't think we're bumping up against any open meeting violation issues if I'm just communicating dates and times and hours, and we're not voting on anything.
Policy setting.
Thoughts? I mean, obviously,
Well,
I'm always
just
sensitive to, but if I communicate with you, normally I communicate with you folks only to reconfirm meetings.
Yeah.
And that's not an open meeting violation. I don't think it would be an open meeting violation if we were just discussing our participation in an activity like this.
I would not think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay,
It
There's
depends
no,
on,
there's no, excuse me, John,
That's
there's
right.
no deliberation,
correct.
you know, so like the last time I needed that case from you, you sent me, et cetera.
Yeah.
And I just made a notation that this is no deliberation, merely a
This is
passage
strictly
of
a
facts,
logistics.
a case, that's all.
Yeah,
That's all
okay.
it is.
Okay.
Okay.
But I will communicate back to everybody as soon as I've spoken to Robin, get a little bit more detail, and so I would ask everybody to think about their possible involvement. And
If we do get involved, the open meeting law is a good point. If we were to get involved and, a few of us showed up at once, would that be an open meeting that we
Yeah.
would have to just advertise and say, we'll be there?
yeah, good
A
point.
quorum, could possibly be there.
Yeah, I'll ask Tracy. I'm sure that's a question that's come up in town hall.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's been.
We would hate to, no good deed goes unpunished,
Right.
right?
In the list of activities, it sounds like more of a day of fun and pie throwing contests, et
Yeah.
cetera. you
yeah,
know,
it's
and-
more, it's a homecoming.
It is, it's like a homecoming.
It's a homecoming event as opposed to a political event.
Right.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
So- And I don't think she's asking for us to come in with an HR identity. I think
Yeah.
she's just looking for manpower. Couple of legs and arms.
To man the booths.
I'm not sure of that either way, but I'll get clarity on it.
We'll get some clarity, yeah.
Respond back to everybody. Okay, thank you all, and to whatever extent we can get involved, we'll do so. Thank you. Any other business? Hearing none, let's schedule our next meeting. Fourth Monday in June would bring us to the 27th. Is that a date that looks good for folks?
Yep.
Offhand, yep.
Monday, June 27th at 4 p.m.
Sounds good.
Thank you. And if there is no other discussion, I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second,
Second?
any discussion?
Um,
All in favor?
I-
We are adjourned.